The absolute worst thing you can do in the morning is the thing that everyone tells you that is the best thing to do in the morning. You ready for this? Having a good breakfast will start you off right, and that's a super healthy habit to do because you don't want to skip your breakfast if you want to be healthy. Breakfast is one of the worst things that you can do, and just hear me out before you click off, because I completely and utterly believe that this was true for many years, and most of my health problems after decades completely went away when I started skipping my breakfast. Here you are, you go to sleep at night, you're not eating through the night, you are actually fasting. And most people are fasting for 12 hours. They're not eating all night long. So how are they getting their food? Well, your liver is releasing stored glucose all night long. And everything works perfectly, right? Until you wake up and you stop that process. You shut the door on the liver and what it's doing. See, your liver is not just feeding your body glucose. It's actually in repair mode. It's doing something called autophagy, which is a condition where your body is recycling damaged cells, turning those into new cells. Your liver is also burning fat, and so as soon as you eat, you stop that process. And the most important thing about this entire video, which I'm going to get into, is when you wake up in the morning, your insulin is at the lowest level of the entire 24-hour cycle. You are in the most fat burning as well, because your fat burning is directly connected to low insulin levels. It is true that eggs and bacon are low carb, and this would be an acceptable breakfast if you just had eggs and bacon. Some people also do fruit and cheese, which is not the best. Other people might do smoothies and think that's a very healthy thing to do. But the problem with these two right here is there's just enough carbohydrates to stimulate insulin to start this little process that's going to happen through the day. But these two don't even compare to what most people do as number 4, the all-American breakfast. And this is exactly what I ate. And that would include the sweetened yogurts, right? Tons of sugar, the orange juice or other types of juices, the sweetened cereals, the pancakes, the waffles, the muffins. I remember when I lived in San Diego, I would go buy these massive muffins in the morning and consume that with my coffee as my breakfast. Don't forget the toast and jam, right? And the jam is high fructose corn syrup. And what about hash browns? Or sometimes Pop-Tarts, right? You are creating such a blood sugar spike in the morning, like you completely bump your liver out of fat burning. You now set up your entire day for the blood sugar roller coaster ride, and you're going to feel it in your head. You're going to feel tired. A lot of people do consume these, but they also consume eggs and bacon at the same time. And they might think in their mind, as long as I'm having protein, I can also have some of these, right? Or maybe if I'm consuming these, the extra protein will help curb and lower my blood sugars. And it actually does. It does bring the sugar a little bit lower. But here is the problem. It does not bring your insulin levels lower, okay? Just the blood glucose levels. Your insulin level spikes not just with these carbohydrates, but also with the protein. That's right. Protein also increases insulin. If you combine protein and carbs, you create a doubling effect of the insulin. I know some of you are going to say, wait a second, how could you have a lower blood glucose level? Maybe you monitor that, but then have higher amounts of insulin. Well, it has to do with what protein does with food in your intestine. It actually slows down the assimilation of food in the intestine, so the blood sugar goes down, but in the background, you get this massive, massive spike of insulin. Insulin destroys your body 10 times more if it's very, very high. Is it creating damage? Yes, but it's not creating a diabetes damage until later when the insulin starts failing to work and now the blood sugar goes out of control. And so let's go through what happens to your liver if this insulin is high. First of all, you're not going to be able to burn fat, okay? Fat burning is going to be shut off, all right? So this breakfast, forget about losing fat. Are you going to be storing fat? Yes. Your body is going to be in a fat storing mode, and this is why your liver becomes fatty from this breakfast right here. You'll start to retain sodium, okay? You're going to start holding fluid, and if you just press into your foot, it might leave a little dent, possibly as a pitting edema. You're going to be hungry. Why are you going to be hungry? Because insulin triggers appetite. Insulin's going to also cause you to be inflamed. It's going to cause more visceral fat in the gut. It's going to cause the retention of iron, which is going to create more inflammation in the liver. It's going to bump you out of ketosis. So your body is now going to be dependent on refined glucose. So if you're going to have this breakfast, this sweetened, carved out breakfast, you're going to need to eat something. Probably just a little something sweet to get you by till lunch, right? And then this whole cycle starts over again. Because there's inflammation, you start developing fibrosis, that's scar tissue in the liver. The other thing that insulin will do is will increase androgens. In women, that's called polycystic ovarian syndrome. In men, you're going to see high levels of DHT. So they start losing their hair and they start having prostate enlargement. Other than that, they're perfectly fine. The other thing that's going to happen in this blood sugar roller coaster is right after lunch, you're going to feel tired and want to nap. Around mid-afternoon, you're going to want a snack to get you by till dinner. Okay, then you eat. And then now we need a snack at night. And then you go to bed and wake up and start the whole cycle again. Now, what's going to also happen, you're going to develop insulin resistance. So at night, you're going to have to pee very often. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up to 10 times a night. I know people that have gotten up 15 times a night. Just think about what that does to their energy the next day. If they just get rid of these snacks and go to 2 meals a day, it would solve the problem. The other thing that all these refined carbs will do is increase cortisol. So it's going to start to put you more in a flight or fight mode, which you're going to be more in stress mode versus a calming state. So now that you understand that, what would be the best breakfast to do? Nothing. It should be no breakfast, okay? And I'm going to tell you why. If you just eat 2 meals a day with no snacks and go on a lower carb diet, it forces your body to burn ketones, which are the byproduct of fat, and it takes you away from depending on the calories from the next meal, and it gets your body to burn your own fat. So you can easily go from one meal to the next without being hungry. You can easily go from your dinner, that last meal of the day, all the way through the night to the next day. You won't be hungry in the morning, okay? And then you go right to your lunchtime, and then you have that as your first meal. What I did is I just did an eggs and bacon breakfast, but it wasn't until I got rid of the breakfast completely that I started to really improve my brain, improve my mental capacity, my mood, and especially my weight. I was 211 pounds, and I went down to 185. Now I'm like a 190. What I would recommend is first getting rid of these carbs, okay? Don't keep doing the carbs. If you lower the carbs, okay, then it's going to be easier to start tapping into your fat and make it from one meal to the next. And then when you wake up in the morning, just ask yourself, am I really hungry? And you're going to say, well, no, I'm not. Okay, good. Then don't eat. Don't eat if you're not hungry. Eat when you're hungry. So at first, you can go in the morning all the way till maybe 10:30 in the morning. Maybe you're hungry. Then eat then. And keep pushing that breakfast further and further towards the lunch to the point where you don't need a breakfast. Your first meal is your breakfast at 12 or 1 o'clock, okay? If you do that, so many wonderful things are going to happen to your liver especially. You're going to be able to get rid of the extra fat off the liver very quickly, probably within a few weeks. Your inflammation is going to go down. You're going to reduce the scar tissue. You're not going to be hungry between meals. Your belly fat's going to go away. And I promise you, it'll be one of the best things to change out of your lifestyle of all the things you're doing, just getting rid of this breakfast completely. I have a free download that I want to give to you. This free download is my daily routine in a checklist. This is a routine that I use every day to feel like I'm 18 years old, even though I'm 60 years old, and I want to give it to you for free. And so there's a little link down below. Click it and definitely download that. And after you do that, you're probably going to need to know the details on what to eat when you eat those 2 meals. And for that, I put this video up right here. Check it out.